Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here with another Warhammer Total War Live Battlecast. In this particular game, we are going to play the Wood Elves, and we're going to play against the Dwarves. So we're going to get Orion. Cloak of Isha isn't bad, actually. If he gets really low and you're about to lose him, and also he is unbreakable, so it's always going to be pretty applicable, I would say. Gives a nice big, damage resistance buff, and essentially saves him from being focused down. We're going to get a Waystalker and a Spell Singer with the lore, not a beast. We want the lore of life. So let's go ahead and get that. We're going to get these abilities here. So what do we have? We have Regrowth, and then we also have Earthblood. So he is playing Clan Angren, which is extremely risky, because if he does get any Ethereal Lords, they're just going to get absolutely dumpstered by Orion, and it's definitely something I've had work pretty well in my favor as of late. We're going to get two Way Watchers. Definitely like these guys quite a bit. I like to keep them on the wings of my army and just kind of work my way down his missile row. And, again, they have pretty good melee stats with 32 weapon strength, 32 melee defense, and okay melee attack. On top of that, we're going to get some Eternal Guards with shields. Obviously, these guys are extremely cost-effective here. I'm a huge fan. We're going to get one group of Wild Riders with shields just to kind of ride around, and they do have silver shields. So if you can get around his back of his flank and apply some pressure, it's just another variable that he has to worry about. Not to say that they're the most effective, but again, they're pretty sturdy. We're also going to get two Treekin. Now, I know on paper these guys do magic damage and also have, somewhat low melee attack, but still, I think it's worth it because they're so durable, and it takes the dwarves a long time to cut through them. It really gives that kind of extra backbone to your army. So we'll go ahead and see how that works out. And I'm actually tempted to cut one of these and bring another group of Way Watchers. That should be interesting. We'll see how effective they are. I usually bring two, and I've had decent success with that, but we'll see how this goes. So I think everything's picked. We're good to go. We got all our items. We got the appropriate spells. We got Regrowth and Earthblood, and that's it. So our infantry is a little light, but hopefully the Waystalkers and the Wild Riders can kind of work in tandem with one another and really put a lot of pressure on him. And of course, Mel Gibson, always a force to be reckoned with. He's pretty scary, to say the least. So he hits like a truck with 500 plus weapon strength. Now, one of his attacks, I believe it's his ranged spear that he throws, doesn't do magic damage. So you can get pretty good value with that. Just, if he has like Thorgrim or some lord sitting like that, you can get pretty good value shooting at him there. So what we'll probably do is Vanguard deploy our Waystalkers up in the forest here, and then just kind of march right up the center and just start picking off his Quarrelers or any other ranged units he has. The Waystalkers are very good at that. So if you overload a flank, which is something I really like to do, you just like have three here, he'll have a Quarreler here, here, and here, let's say. And you can shoot at this one. The other ones won't be able to retaliate very quickly. And you can work down and generate some serious value. So Eternal Guards with shields, pretty good. They played their attrition game quite well. And of course, the Treekin aren't inherently like, to bust the dwarf lines down. They do have 55 weapon strength, 25% of which will be mitigated because of magic damage. Still, leaves them with a pretty decent number. And again, they're very sturdy and very, very good with the healing. With Earthblood, they last forever. So Dorothy's kind of fun here, but he also is a huge liability as he's a big target. Whereas Mel Gibson is still pretty big, but, he can kind of skirt around a little bit better, a little more mobile. Actually, I wonder what the speed is comparatively speaking. I think Mel Gibson's like, around like 48 move speed. And the Hawk's Talon is really good. If you actually time the Hawk's Talon in conjunction with like a Wild Rider's charge, you can just annihilate like troops hard. The Hounds of Mel Gibson aren't as fun. It's so funny. That's like become so ingrained in my head. Like I said it as a joke initially, but now it's just kind of my go-to in terms of my kind of the way my brain works. Like I just assume he's Mel Gibson, the way he looks. He does look like him, and I'm sure actually he's kind of got some racist tendencies. So I would imagine Orion does, with his hatred of other races in the old world. So I guess there's some correlations there, for sure. But man, you gotta love Braveheart. Man, that is a damn good movie. And The Patriot, so many good ones. Anyways, we're about to start here. Let's hope for the best, guys. Wish me luck, and let's go balls deep. So we do have our three Way Watchers up here. We're gonna go ahead, like I mentioned. I really hope he doesn't like deploy in this corner over here. That would make me so sad. So we're gonna deploy here just like so, and let's go ahead and just set up the rest of our army, and then we can fine tune that. So we're gonna put the trees kind of mixed in here, and that should be fine. And we'll just deploy them across the front like this. All right. Yeah, it's funny because that group of Eternal Guards right there just really bothers me. The fact that there's like no symmetry there. Oh, man, that's so troll. Okay, so this guy we're probably going to deploy with these guys so he can get firing right away. On top of that, we're going to put our Spell Singer right here. And do these guys have Vanguard deployment as well? They actually do. I could deploy over here and they're hidden. So that's going to, he's going to know something's up. He'll probably know, exactly where I've deployed, to be honest, which is okay. And if he deploys Rangers, they're going to get dumpstered like so hard. That's going to be really bad for him. So these guys are all hidden. We'll put them in group 2. We'll put the Wild Riders in group 3. And I really hope he's right in front of me. That would be very, very ideal. Let's deploy here. We're going to go. All right, perfect. So we're just going to start deploying here. Oh, no, we don't want you guys shooting yet. Don't give it up. So we're just going to start focusing these guys. So let's move out here and get these cav riding around the back. And we're going to get our group here, and we're just going to start. No, we don't want them to shoot at those. I guess that's okay, whatever. I'm not going to complain. They're shooting, you know, valuable units, the Grumbling Guard. So, but what we're going to do is just focus down these Iron Drakes. We probably want to focus down those and have these ones focus down these. We're also going to get the Arrows of Kurnus here and just use them right in this front line here, because hopefully it'll like skip through. You can see the Slayers are kind of in response here, and we're going to just keep marching forward. And look how hard we're dumpstering those high value units. The Arrows of Kurnus actually pierced through and did a little bit of damage as well. So hopefully we can just take the wide route, and it looks like he is kind of wrapping back, so we're just going to get a charge on these Slayers. And these guys, we're actually just going to move out into the wings and just keep going back here. All right, so far so good, guys. We're getting some good value, definitely doing some serious damage to some of his units. So we do have the Hounds of Gibson. We're going to use them back here. Looks like he was paying attention there, so I do get zoned out there. So he's doing a really good job with his Slayers, actually. But we're going to reposition these guys and take off fire at will, just because we're running pretty low on ammunition here. We're going to engage here, we're going to engage here, we're going to engage here, and right here. So far, so good, guys. We're doing well. The trees are engaged. Everyone's pretty happy, having a good time. And let's come across here and get these guys firing at the appropriate units again. So we're going to fire at these Iron Drakes right here and just finish them off. We're going to get one group also firing at the second group of Iron Drakes. And let's just look at how hard they go down. It's pretty incredible. So we're going to get an overcasted Earthblood, and probably right here, because this is where like the primary firing point of the battle is going. And yeah, we did route those guys off. So Waystalkers, again, very, very good at sniping out elite units. So what we want to do is kind of reposition so we get a little bit of a better angle, and then we're just going to come in here in the back and get a nice little rear charge on those hammers. So the trees are engaged here. We do have Mel Gibson here. He's doing a pretty good job in melee. Let's go ahead and use the Hawk's Talon. We're going to use it right here as well and just have like a very, very heavy burst. So the Waystalkers are here, and does he have any more valuable units to focus down? I guess we could just focus these guys down right here. I'm having trouble clicking them, actually, so let's go ahead and click just like that. All right, so far so good. And we're going to get Mel Gibson, have him start focusing the Rune Lord. Let's use the Hounds of Gibson also right here, which is going to be pretty good. Do we have any healing? It looks like we do have an Earthblood up, so we're going to use that right there. And you can see just how hard those guys go down. So the Wild Riders did get a nice rear charge. Fortunately, I was a little delayed on microing them just because I was so busy with other things, but still, we're in okay shape here. So we're going to pull this back. Is there anyone who could use a regrowth? Let's go ahead and use it on these trees right here who are wavering. Damn, they did break, so hopefully they'll come back. I was hoping to get some good results from that. But those Iron Drakes are just getting dumpstered by these guys. That's so much like focused damage right there. It's pretty incredible. So we could start focusing the Slayers right now. I think we'll probably start focusing on the Grumbling Guard over here. That's a pretty good choice in my opinion. And let's see if we can detach a group of these guys. We can just have these pull back as well. So we'll have these guys pull back here, these guys pull back here. Mel Gibson, he's just having a field day in the front line. So he does have some Iron Drakes with the Troll Hammers still left. Let's get our Wild Riders, go up and around. Seems like he's forgotten about those guys essentially. I mean, we do have these guys chasing, so we can engage for a second with these and just like get them, tied up. Go here, and let's go here right there. So far so good. We will have the Hawk's Talon relatively shortly. We'll keep Mel Gibson focusing these guys down. And as far as the infantry battle goes, I'd say it's a pretty good trade for me. I still do have a lot of healthy troops left. Let's go ahead and use the Hounds of Gibson over there. Use this, and the Waystalkers are doing a pretty good job firing in here. So let's have them crossfire at these Slayers. We'll pull these guys back, and I would love if those darn trees would come back as well. So Mel Gibson, let's see how he's doing. He's able to finish those guys off. We probably want to break them. They're still steady, which is tough despite all this. So let's actually go ahead and just have these guys push here, and these guys we want to finish off those Iron Drakes to make sure they, slow their roll a little bit. Because in the front line, we're definitely having a bit of trouble. We're taking a lot of damage, so we're going to use that regrowth right there. And we're going to get him in here, and also use Hawk's Talon on this big group of Dawi over here. And it looks like the Slayers are finally starting to get worn down. So let's use him in melee to help finish these guys off. We're also going to use an Arrows of Kurnus over here on some of these troops. So let's go ahead and get over here, and it looks like the Waystalkers are able to finish off a lot of those guys. Let's finish off these Iron Drakes here, although he does have hammers coming. So let's actually, pull our forces back and do a little bit of a tactical retreat, as we do have, quite a bit of ammunition left, actually. So we need to get Orion out of there. He's definitely not in the best shape right now. Let's have these guys go here, and Orion's very fast, and so is the Spellsinger. I don't recall it being that fast, but still, we do have some Eternal Guards. He did a pretty good job of like breaking our front line. But these trees are in good health. We can use them to kind of tie up these hammers. Let's go here, and let's have these guys shoot here. We want them ranged, so that should be fine. So right now we have an Arrows of Kurnus as well. Let's go ahead and use it on his Rune Lord here. And these guys were able to kind of regroup, so let's actually sneak them back this direction. We'll get these trees in here to kind of do their thing. We do have some kind of troops that, are coming out of retirement over here. We should be able to work these guys down. The Waystalker is doing good occupying these guys. And once we can get kind of Orion back to the main battle, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. So let's use the Hounds right here to kind of pop those guys. Let's pull these Eternal Guards back. That's a group of 30. I mean, that's no joke. And now we're able to kind of kite out those hammers. Although we are running low on ammo. We do have one group that's really, really solid on ammunition, which I'm very, very happy about. So let's go ahead and shoot at these hammers right here. It looks like he's trying to cut me off. So let's actually go this way. And yeah, we'll wait on the heel. We'll use the Arcane Conduit and just cut through here. Looks like he's getting that angle, so let's use the speed and see if we can squeeze through that kind of little pocket right there. So these troops here, we want to reform our battle line and just kind of go from there. And looks like, yeah, he's too fast for those guys. He tried to get that angle of pursuit, but just couldn't do it. So we'll get the Waystalker over here. And we are out of ammunition, so these guys are going to be included in our front line. So here, we want to go ahead and probably just keep shooting at the hammers. Honestly, we could, yeah, let's actually finish those Iron Drakes, because we don't want to get, like, popped in the dome. We'll turn him around, have these Eternal Guards help him out. And if he kind of gets, like, caught up here, we can get these guys engaged here and get these guys engaged here. Hopefully he stops here. Oh, this could be really good right now, actually. So let's do this. And, oh, man, he reacted at the last second. But still, we get a little bit of damage. Definitely can't complain. These guys will reposition here. And, yeah, we just need to get everyone in melee now at this point. So right now, it's pretty blobbed up. So we're going to use an Earthblood right here, which will be a nice heal. We're going to use the Hounds right here, which will get in there and do a little bit of disruption. And of course, he does cause terror, guys. So that's something else you want to consider. That's going to be pretty darn strong right now. So we're going to get this, the Spell Singer, and also right here, we do have an Arrow of Furnace. So let's go ahead and see where we can shoot it. We could probably be able to shoot it in there and do some serious work. So I think, honestly, yeah, that was really nice, that arrow right there. Definitely better than some of the other ones I've had this game. So right now, let's go ahead and see what we can target. So these hammers, and I think the Rune Lord's probably the best target, because it's pretty big if it's on the anvil, which I believe it is. Is it dead? Actually, we can just shoot into it. Let's just shoot into the blob, guys. It'll work out. We'll get him shooting over here. He still has a ton of missiles left. And we'll get these guys fighting. And, of course, Mel Gibson is very, very durable. And what's really nice in this particular situation is I do have the Cloak of Isha. So in a prolonged melee engagement, if it gets close and drawn out and knocked down, he's going to be so hard to kill. So the fact that he's targeting it right now, I'm actually kind of happy about that. So let's actually pull him back a little bit, just get him re-engaged. And unfortunately, we are about to run out of missiles here, which is A-okay. So we're going to go here just so we're not taking like a circle beating. And yeah, you can see all of his stuff is like routing right now, which is pretty solid. So the Waystalker just continue to shoot at those hammers and do pretty good. And he is so fast. Look at him just outmaneuver those guys. And we'll use the Hounds right here in this blob he has. And just have him finish off this Runesmith. And also we'll switch our Waystalker onto this Lord here. And also let's pull these guys into melee. So honestly, I don't know if they'll be able to get Mel. We'll keep scurrying. He's too fast. And also having this Waystalker with like full ammo is very, very scary for my opponent. So we do have Hawk's Talon. I mean, most of my infantry corps is in really, really good shape. So we're going to re-engage him here. Let's go ahead and use this Hawk's Talon right there on those guys and go here on the Runesmith. And we're pulling everyone in, guys. We're going deep. So we do have enough for another heal. Let's go ahead and use that right here, which should be really, really strong. And yeah, you can see the bombardment and then the Cloak of Isha. It's going to be so good here. It's going to be so good. I've definitely been a little sloppy with my Arrows of Kurnus, but you guys saw the Waystalkers did good work taking out those Iron Drakes. Although even some of his Iron Drakes did come back, and they did a really good job at, like, you know, focusing down my troops on the left flank over there and routing them, because the morale hit from the fire was pretty serious. Let's go ahead and use an Arrows of Kurnus. We'll use one right here on these guys. Hopefully, he doesn't kill too many of my own. But again, you don't really have to worry with old Mel. He's always down for a brawl. He's doing pretty good against the Rune Lord. We will have the Hounds shortly. Although, to be honest, he just has these 2 heroic units. It looks like everything is broken at this point. Although, oh no, he has some guys over here. So can it reach over there? Let's see if it can. Yeah, it can. Maybe it'll help break those guys. But we are out of ammunition across the board. We do have a regrowth. Do we have? Oh, it didn't cast for some reason. Looks like it got kind of screwed up. So Earthblood in these very like long Zerg games, like here at the end, are going to be pretty strong. And you can see everyone is shattered at that point. So very, very well played to my opponent. That was a super fun game for sure. But I like the Waystalkers a lot. I feel like they're pretty solid. I mean, you saw how hard they dumpstered those units. They got a nice initial engagement. I was a little sloppy with their ammunition. I think that's really what's going to determine how effective they are, is how good you can be with turning off the auto fire and then focusing the appropriate units. But they really put these Iron Drakes down. And even still, it was a close battle because they do run out of ammunition, you know, and then, you know, obviously they're going to be substantially less effective. But I really like Orion against the Dwarves. The bombardment spells are really good. He's mobile. You don't have to worry about him breaking. He's very, very receptive of the heals, so definitely can't complain there. As far as my opponent's army goes, the Hammers did pretty well, actually, even though, yeah, those are probably how he was able to push back my line with the trees. Slayers, Grumbling Guard, good choices across the board. The Iron Drakes are a risky pick, but, you know, if he could have protected them, they could have done some serious work, so. Good game to my opponent, R. Silva 408. I look forward to seeing you again on ladder, and hope you guys enjoyed this Wood Elf cast. Have an excellent night, and take care.